Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I'm your host Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news, shall we? First of all, a number of people have been reporting that they've been experiencing some new interesting thing involving the Switch that I hadn't heard of. I haven't experienced this. This comes specifically from one person who says that he leaves it in the dock almost entirely, so maybe that's why I haven't experienced it. I feel like my Switch is out of the dock at least 33% of the day. But in any case, as you can see from this picture, warping has occurred. The thought is perhaps leaving the Switch in the dock and then it not really having an adequate way of cooling down or venting out that heat can end up warping it, because of course the hotter it is, the more pliable the plastic is, because it would melt slightly, ever so slightly, and then somehow, although the dock doesn't seem to be in a rounded position, so I don't really understand why it would warp, but I don't know, who knows. In any case, I haven't experienced this, but then again, that's probably because I have the Switch out of the dock at least a third of the day, which of course means it has plenty of opportunity to vent that heat because it's not bound up in the dock. Again, we're only hearing this, all of this detail from one person, and then a couple people have jumped on that train wagon or bandwagon or whatever the frick wow, I almost swore there for once on this channel. That would have been interesting. Anyways, yeah, that's the... I find that a lot of people, whether they have experienced something or not, on the internet specifically, really like to be like, yeah, me too, that totally happened to me, even if maybe it didn't necessarily happen. But anyways, yeah, again, I haven't experienced this, but I am curious if any of you have, because I trust you guys, so let me know in the comments down below. Our next story is about the fact that in Yooka-Laylee, no, this is nothing that controversial. Hopefully we're all done with that by at this point, but in any case, in Yooka-Laylee, there is a reference to CONKER'S Bad Fur Day, which was a game that came out for the Nintendo 64. Now you might wonder, how is that possible? I thought that was Rare. Well, yeah, but the developers who left Rare founded whatever the heck this new company's name is, and they're the ones who made Yooka-Laylee, so they're the ones who made Conker. Of course, it can't be anything too specifically obviously Conker, because for the same reason why it's Yooka-Laylee and not Banjo-Kazooie, because all of that's owned by Microsoft right now, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, a cute little callback to CONKER'S Bad Fur Day, which was an amazing game that I didn't quite finish. I think I got to the last level, or whatever the different sections of that were called, where it's basically like a ripoff of Alien, the movie Alien, or was it Aliens? I don't know. Anyways, I then had to give the game back to the friend that I was borrowing it from, because this was a coworker of mine and I was actually leaving that job to go to a different job and didn't know if I was ever going to see that particular person again, and as it turns out I didn't. So I brought that game back, letting him know, by the way, I'm leaving this job, and my first copy of Wind Waker was never returned to me as a result. So I had let him borrow the Wind Waker in exchange for CONKER'S Bad Fur Day, and yeah, didn't quite go as planned, so eventually I had to track down another copy of the Wind Waker. But anyways, that's another story for another time. I forgot what I was even talking about. Let's get on to the next interesting piece of news. So you might remember back before Breath of the Wild was released, they told us about how one of the developers, that the whole point of the game was, you can do anything you want in this game. If you want to avoid all of the dungeons and just go straight for Ganon, you can. If you want to push this boulder that's right outside of the Resurrection Shrine all the way to Hyrule Castle, you can. And one developer did, and so a fan decided, is that really true? I want to test that theory. And so you can watch a video of them doing exactly that. I don't really have any interest in doing this kind of thing myself. I just want to play the game as is for whatever the game... I mean, but again, I guess the whole point is, the whole point of this game is you can do these crazy things if you want. So Anyway, if you want to watch that video, there's a link down there for you. Our next story is about a very unfortunate situation wherein somebody found what they thought was a legit deal for the Switch. It was like $265 or something like that on Amazon Warehouse Deals, which is a little different from the regular Amazon.com. It's still owned by Amazon, but it has a totally different sort of way it's set up. It's not like an individual person is selling to another individual person. It's more like a warehouse is selling to. Anyways, you can read all about it if you want. There's a link, of course, down below. But the story is somebody saw this really great deal for a Switch and was like, holy gosh, I gotta get this thing for this cheap, of course. And what arrived was not a Switch, but a Wii. Not even a Wii U, a Wii. So that's terrible. Of course, they got their refund and all that, but it's just frustrating that that happened. If you want to read that news story, there's a link down there for you. And our final story for the day is about a feature in Breath of the Wild that I wasn't even aware existed. You know, it rains sometimes too much in Breath of the Wild, which causes a little bit of rage for me. Is when I'm trying to scale a cliffside and then it starts raining and I have to plummet back down and wait for the rain to end. A little frustrating. It's realistic and I appreciate that, but a little frustrating. There should have been some sort of item or equipment that you could get that's like Spidey suit or something where you can climb the mountain anyway. And you could charge me thousands of rupees for it, whatever. I just want to be able to climb the mountain anytime I want to climb the mountain. But anyways, again, it's realistic, and that's the whole point of Breath of the Wild, is it provides a more realistic experience. I get that. Well, in any case, this is nothing that important, really, but it's a very cool little detail, which is when it rains and you're standing in front of some sort of small pool of water, like a puddle or something, the more it rains, the bigger that puddle gets, which doesn't sound like that groundbreaking, but I can't think of a single other game that does that. Definitely no previous Zelda games do that. So that's freaking amazing. They put that much thought into this. I guess it's really all about their physics engine that's like, well, this thing down here, this pool of water is water, and this stuff coming from the sky is water, so the more water filling up this pool, the bigger it's gonna get. So that's just so cool. I would have never noticed this had it not been pointed out to me, but anyways, it's very awesome. If you want to check out some images of that, there's a link down there for you of basically this puddle getting bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. And then, of course, eventually it dissipates when it stops raining and the sun comes out, and they get smaller and smaller and smaller. So that is just so cool to me. I don't know why I'm geeking out over that, but it's really awesome. But in any case, that's it for this episode. I did want to point out something that I've been neglecting to point out for like a month now, which is that I have a Patreon. You know, like for over 2 years now, you guys have asked, well, some of you have asked, hey, why don't you have a Patreon? And to be honest, I didn't have a Patreon before because I felt like it was kind of cheesy. Like, please give me your money. I didn't want it to feel like that. You guys watch my videos, I enjoy making the videos, that should be enough. But, you know, it seems like everybody under the sun does a Patreon these days, and some of you are asking for specific rewards that I'm frankly not just gonna do on this channel, so I thought, well, I guess I could set up a Patreon and then provide those rewards, but then I haven't said a single word about it. It's been up for like a month now, or 2 months now. I haven't said a single word about it because I really don't know what kind of rewards exactly you guys want. So you can go take a look at my Patreon. There's a link. It's, I think, the first link down in the description area. And you'll see some generic sounding rewards, which frankly aren't good enough in my opinion. But I can't figure out what exactly you guys might want, so that's why I haven't said anything about it. I wanted to figure all that out first before I announce it. But I've come to realize over the past couple weeks, I'm not going to figure this out. That's what you guys are for. You let me know what kind of rewards you want, and then I'll adjust that and then let you guys know it's been adjusted. But yeah, so I'm not asking you to sign up for any of the rewards right now. I'd just like your feedback. I'd like you to look at it, take a look at the rewards and say, how about you do this one for this tier, and that kind of stuff. Because one of you brought it to my attention a few episodes ago, hey, I went to look at your Patreon, the rewards, not that great. This particular reward I would like, but I thought, well, maybe that's just that one person who would want that one reward. Maybe others of you have different opinions. So look at it as it currently exists, and let me know in the comments down below what I should change up about that. What you would sincerely, realistically pledge to at whatever tier and stuff. Anyways, I feel gross like a used car salesman now, but anyways, if you want to check that out, there's that link down there for you. See you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.